Hi homeschoolers, this is Jim Pence with See the Light. Today we're talking about symmetry. Symmetry, or the Symmetry tool. That's our focus today. And of all of the different features in digital art apps, a Symmetry tool is probably, at least to me, the most fun. Because even if you just want to doodle, you can come up with some amazing and fun designs. Now, it's easier to show you how this works rather than try to explain it. So I'm in Procreate, and I'm going to start out by toning my background, and I do that no matter what I'm working on. It just makes the colors show up better. So I've got a nice neutral gray tone. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over, if you look up in the upper left-hand corner of the window there, you'll see the word gallery, and right beside it is a wrench tool. And I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to go over to Canvas. And as I click on that, then you'll see the word drawing guide. I'm going to turn that on. You see a nice little grid shows up. We're going to work on grids later in this series, but right now that's not what we want. I click on Edit Drawing Guide, and if you look down, you're going to see the word Symmetry. And I'm going to click on that. And then at the bottom of the window, you'll see 4 choices: vertical, horizontal, quadrant, and radial. And I'm going to choose radial. And when I choose that, you're going to see that those blue lines now kind of radiate out. I've got 8 sections, and watch what happens when I begin to draw in one of them. Now I'm going to work on my first layer, and I think I'm going to choose a little bit brighter color just so it shows up a little bit better, and you can see the effect. And I want to change my brush a little bit here. The oil paint brush is nice, but I like an inking brush, so I'm going to use a studio pen. And then I'm just going to draw in one section of my square canvas here. But watch what happens when I begin to do that. When I mark in one section, that mark is repeated identically in the other 7 sections. Now, if I just leave it like that, I've got several nice little dashes there. But what if I decided I wanted to get a little bit more creative? Well, I can carry it on. I've got a circle. Yeah, let's clear that, try something else. What if I wanted to just make some shapes? And I'm just doodling here right now. But as I doodle, it is repeated over and over again, identically. So now I have a really nice, kind of almost a lacy pattern. I'm going to change colors, and let's try adding another design to that. Now I'm going to add another layer because, if you remember from our lesson in the previous video, if you do different things on separate layers, then you can work independently and change those things as you need to. So I've got a second layer, but wait, it's not working right. What happened? Well, in Procreate, you have to tell the layer that you want it to work with the symmetry. So if you'll notice that layer 1 has the word assisted there, and I've got to tell layer 2 that that's what I want too. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go down to Drawing Assist, and I'm going to click on that as well. And when I click on Drawing Assist, you'll see the word assisted appears under layer 2, and now it's going to be working with the Symmetry tool as well. So I'm going to take my red ink pen, I'm still going to stay with the Studio pen, and I'm going to draw on one of the other lines. And as I do, again, my design is overlapping and working with the existing design. Now what if I wanted to add one more? So let's add a third layer, turn on Drawing Assist. I'm going to go blue this time, and I'm going to go with a larger pen. So let's turn that up a little bit, and I'm going to come in and just add a really nice blue design here. But you know what? I don't particularly like it because the blue really covers up the finer design that's underneath it. But the nice thing about layers is I can just move that layer. So I'm going to hold down on layer number 3, and when I do that, when I use my Apple Pencil and just put it on the layer, and it's going to pick it up, and then I can just move it, and when I do that, it moves the layer behind the other two, and now my original design shows through. So that's one of the things that you can do with layers. I can also come in and turn down its opacity, make it a little less intense if I want, so it doesn't, the color doesn't dominate quite so much. And so we have a really simple design, and you can go on from there, and you can do all sorts of things. You can color in the shapes. You can there are other features that we'll show in later lessons where we can actually go in and we can morph these shapes into something a little bit more exotic, if you will, or a little bit more challenging. And so it's really quite easy and quite fun to create designs with the Symmetry tool. And there's a lot more that you can do with it, but this is just one use for it. Now I wanted to show you, this is a sketchbook, and I showed last time that the sketchbook has a Symmetry tool, and it's actually got a few little wrinkles that you don't have with the Procreate version. Specifically, if you notice in the black bar, it has the word sections there and a little slide bar, and if I manipulate that, I can increase the number of sections. I can go from 2 and 3, 4, 5, and I can go all the way up to about 15 or 16, I guess it's 16 sections. And so now when I come in and draw, I can really have an intricate design. And I can also change my color. Let's go with a purple here. And let's move that center point, and I can start drawing there. And there's all sorts of things that you can do with it. So if you just like to doodle and you just want to have some fun, this is a great tool, and you can create some interesting things. Now I'm just doing some horizontal lines, and yeah, I clear the layer here so you can see better what I'm doing. And of course I changed that to a vertical line, and if I click over on that button just past the number 2, then any lines that I draw are going to terminate right there at the center. So I can create a whole new kind of design. So that is the Symmetry tool in a nutshell. It's easy, it's fun to play with, And it's a great way to kind of get your feet wet in digital art, because you can just doodle, you can have some fun, and yet the designs are going to come out pretty nice. Now again, I'm just kind of playing around here, wasn't really trying to do anything in particular, but we're going to come back in a few weeks and we'll begin to do some things with Symmetry. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, and next time we're going to move from there to another really cool tool. It's called Alpha Lock, or Lock Transparency, and you'll be surprised what you can do with that. So thanks for watching. Keep drawing. We'll see you next week.